welcome to the show. Now, I don't know about you, but when September rolls in, I feel like it is a great time to hit the old reset button. You know, summer vacations are winding down, school's starting up, and it's just the perfect time to get back into a routine. So today, I wanted to make a classic, comforting recipe to help you with getting into your routine. And in celebration of season 2, all week long, all my recipes are 2-for-1 recipes. Thank you. Yeah, basically we're making one delicious thing that can be transformed into 2 delicious meals. So we're gonna get started today on my roasted lemon chicken. It's really, really tasty. The reason I kind of started there is it's actually a lemon roast chicken, so I don't know why I call it a roasted lemon chicken. But here we go. Okay, so this is a really simple recipe to make. I absolutely love a roast chicken because it's something that seems really intense and difficult, but all you do is plop it in a pan, chuck it in the oven, Bob's your uncle, your house is gonna smell amazing. So to make sure you're getting the best roast chicken possible, I like to start off with what I call, or what is known as, a compound butter. And a compound butter is just butter with a bunch of stuff smushed into it. Really, really tasty and easy. So I've got a bowl here, and into there I'm gonna add in 2 tablespoons of butter. You want it to be room temperature so it's nice and spreadable. If you were in a pinch and maybe only had cold from the fridge butter, you could melt it, but don't melt it too much until it's hot. You just want it a little liquidy. So I'm just gonna give that a little bit of a mix up. And this is where you get to start adding whatever flavors you want. If you want this to have kind of like delicious Mediterranean spices, you could put in oregano, again, lemon, garlic, a little bit of shallot. We're going with lemon and garlic and herbs. You could even do though like cumin, you could go a little spicy, whatever you want. But into here, I'm gonna start off with some garlic, 2 cloves to be exact, and I'm gonna mince it right on into that bowl. Now, I don't know what it is, but this time of year, I feel like everybody starts getting a little, maybe under the weather. And for some reason, I feel like garlic really helps with that, you know? Keeps you healthy. So 2 cloves go right on into that butter. This butter, if you weren't to put it on chicken, it would be amazing spread on some bread, because I got a theory that everybody likes garlic bread. No one's gonna complain if you put garlic bread on the table. All right, now I'm also gonna add in some lemon zest. I don't want the juice because I don't want that acidity. I just want that nice bright lemon flavor. So I'm gonna add in the zest of about 1 lemon. And when you're zesting, you just wanna get that lemon skin, just the outside. If you do get a bit in, it's not gonna ruin the whole recipe, but aim for just getting that bright yellow color off of the lemon. This has all of that beautiful lemon oil in there, so it gives you that punchy lemon flavor, again, without that acidity. All right, now season that up with some salt. A little bit of pepper goes into there as well. And then I also want to add in some herbs. Now, if you wanted to, you could do, like I said earlier, you could do oregano, you could do sage, you could do thyme, a little bit of tarragon for a bit of a French vibe. But I'm going in with parsley and rosemary, 2 classics that I've got grown in my garden. So I need about 2 teaspoons of finely chopped parsley and about 1.5 teaspoons of rosemary. Rosemary is a lot stronger than parsley, but it's going to be absolutely delicious, and it's a perfect match for some chicken. So just kind of grab it all, roll it up. This is a really, most people would call this a chiffonade. This is not a chiffonade. Chiffonade means nice ribbons. This is just like chop it small. You know what I mean? So give it a nice chop. Get all through those rosemary bits. The thing with rosemary, I really like cutting it nice and fine because it does get a little bit chewy. It's a little bit woody. So you want to chop it nice and fine so it gets distributed without ending up with like a pine tree in your chicken, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna add those herbs right on into that butter and just give that a mix together. We've got that garlic in there, that lemon zest. Also, I would put this on pasta. Get out of here. What a delight. So this isn't even a 2-for-1. You could just do everything with this butter and you got a recipe right there. All right. Now, when you are looking to put butter onto a chicken, you actually don't just want to put it on the outside. It tends to burn that way. I like to get flavor right into the meat. So what you want to do is with either your fingers or a spoon, you start with, I'm going to call it the business end of the chicken, and you get your spoon and you just kind of wiggle it in between the skin and the meat. You can see it kind of separates. Do you see the spoon kind of going through there? That's gonna give you a little pocket that you can put that butter into. Basically, you use the backbone of the chicken as a little bit of a divider for each side. So just get that underneath. Then you're gonna get about 1/3 of the butter, put it under one side, and just kind of spoon it in, and then you can just press it forward into that area that you left. All that flavor is now gonna go into the meat as opposed to just melting off and ending up in the pan. So I'm gonna go in with another 1/3 on the other side. If you're really feeling ambitious, you could also separate the skin from the legs, put a little bit there. But to get that flavor all the way around that chicken, this is where you just get your spatula, get the rest of that butter, about a third of it, and just kind of smear it all over top. Now, you don't have to worry about getting every little bit because the butter will melt down. Just focus on getting a little bit of the legs, a little bit of the breast, and you are good to go. All right, I'm gonna go quickly wash my hands because they're all chickeny. But that, as is gonna be an amazing roast chicken. My very favorite thing, though, about a roast chicken is the fact that when you make a roast chicken, it is a true one-pan dinner. I think it's like the original one-pan dinner, I'm not gonna lie. So I've got a pan here, just a roasting pan. If you didn't have a roasting pan, you could do this in any sort of high-sided situation. Even in a big cast iron skillet, that would work too. But I'm gonna start in here and I'm gonna add in that lemon. So that lemon that I zested earlier, I'm gonna slice that into about ½ centimeter thick slices. That's gonna bring a little bit of juiciness, a little bit of acidity into the pan sauce that's gonna happen underneath that chicken. So add those lemon slices right on in, just scatter them about. And now for a little bit of veg. I wanna add about 650 grams of mini potatoes. 650 grams is what you get in one of those classic bags, so just empty one of those bags right on into the pan. What a delightful sound, I love it. Now for some savory ultimateness, I'm gonna add in 2 yellow onions. I've cut those into about 8 wedges each. That's a good size, so they'll cook down, they'll caramelize beautifully, but they're not gonna burn. So add those on in. And then finally, I wanna toss in 3 cloves of garlic. Now, this garlic has its skin still on. When you're roasting garlic for a good long time, you wanna leave the skin on because it doesn't burn. It gets sweet and juicy and wonderful. So add that on in. You can add on a little oil, but you totally don't need to. Now we're gonna bring the chicken. That chicken is gonna render all its fat down onto those veg. It's gonna be amazing. So I'm just gonna add a roasting rack in. If you don't have a roasting rack, no worries. I'm gonna pop that chicken on top. I like to get my tongs, stick them again in the business end, pick her up, and pop them on. You wanna start your chicken breast side up. I'm gonna add a little bit of chicken broth just around onto those vegetables, just about a cup. I've got a little extra for later. And then if you're feeling it, a chicken loves a little bit of white wine. So a splash of white wine always makes for a tasty chicken. That alcohol will cook off, but it's gonna give you a nice acidity into that sauce and be totally dreamy. Now, season that up with a little bit more salt and pepper. Get those veg as well. And then this chicken needs to go into a 425-degree oven on the bottom rack. That's gonna need 30 minutes. So that's get that chicken started. The trick when you are roasting chicken, oops, I went in the wrong oven. Whoops, we're going in the top oven. Pretend you didn't see that chicken. Pay no attention to the chicken in the bottom oven. Okay, so this one is going in the top oven, right on the bottom rack. That's gonna get beautiful and golden. We're gonna start that cooking process for 30 minutes. Then, this is the weird part of this chicken recipe. Grab your broth, go to your chicken after that first 30 minutes, and we're going to flip it over. Now, stick with me. Sounds kind of strange, but basically what we're doing here is we're flipping it over so all of that delicious juiciness from the kind of backbone of that chicken is gonna render down and over. Now, just go again, right up the chicken, wiggle it off of that roasting pan, and give them a flip. All that juiciness now is gonna rain down onto that breast meat, keeping it nice and wonderful and juicy. Roast it for another 30 minutes, flip it over one more time, roast it for about 20, and you end up with something that looks like this. If the pan ever goes dry, add a little splash of broth, but you get the most delicious, golden brown, crispy chicken. All in one pan. You've got those potatoes, you've got that beautiful juice, that cooked down garlic. We did sneak some greens on there, I'm not gonna lie, some steamed green beans, but this is the perfect one pot meal. We've got that beautiful lemon and garlic roast chicken, some wonderful potatoes that cook right alongside, and then again, some green beans for a little bit of healthiness. That looks so good. Now, what I want to show you is how to take that beautiful roast chicken dinner and turn it into my lemon and greens chicken soup with orzo. Yeah, orzo is my husband Aaron's absolute favorite pasta shape in a soup. So this one's for him. What's up? Yeah. All right, so the first thing you need to do is get started on that orzo. Now, as opposed to cooking that pasta in water, I'm actually gonna cook it in chicken broth, just store-bought chicken broth. So I've got a liter of chicken broth here, just simmering away. And into there, I'm gonna add about 3/4 of a cup of orzo. Orzo kind of looks like rice grains. It's really tiny, it kind of is oblong. My cousin Lindsay one time when she tried buying it, looked in the rice aisle, it's not there. It's in the pasta section. It's really, really great for soups. It kind of absorbs everything, so the soup kind of turns into like an orzo risotto the next day, so it's kind of a 3-for-1 meal. Now, I'm gonna add that orzo into that boiling stock, and I want that to go for about 6 to 7 minutes. Now, that will bring it to almost done. I don't wanna fully cook it at that point, because I wanna add some things in just to heat through and get beautiful. So we've got one going here, but now I wanna talk about this. This is the flavor. This is where everything delicious lives. That chicken roasted on top of all those onions, the potatoes, which I don't know if your family's like mine, but there's no more potatoes because they ate them all. But what I want you to do is hunt through this beautiful mess of onions that are caramelized down, those bits of lemon that have also cooked down, and find the garlic. So I've got a garlic clove right here, and grab a fork and just smush it. You see all that creamy, delicious garlic? The skin just comes away super easily. So we're gonna get rid of that and find all of those garlic cloves. You want all that sweet, cooked down garlic flavor. This is not gonna give you like garlic bread, garlic breath. It's gonna be sweet and beautiful and delicious. So again, give it a smush. There's nothing more satisfying than smushing cooked garlic out of its skin also. If you can't tell, I'm having a great time. All right, and now I just want you to kind of mash it and cook it, or stir it rather, into these onions, that little bit of lemon, and that's gonna become roasted garlic onion. There's also a little bit of liquid in here from that broth that cooked down, that little bit of wine. So this is gonna bring so much kind of home-cooked flavor into this soup. This is how you take store-bought broth and make it taste like you made it, and you can tell everybody you did, which is the delight. So I have got some of that broth with that cooked orzo in it right here, and I'm gonna get as much of this beautiful mixture of these onions and garlic and just scrape it right on into that pot. That's gonna bring thickness and richness. She's not cute right now, but boy, she will be. Give that a good stir together, just to come together, and you're gonna have that beautiful, almost kind of French oniony, caramelized cooked onion. It also beefs up the soup a little bit, so you get even more to serve your friends and family. Now, for some greens, I'm gonna toss in just some spinach. Any sort of leafy greens you've got, feel free to throw them in. Kale would be wonderful, collard greens, Swiss chard, really any sort of green. But I've got a good few handfuls here, so I'm just gonna add that right on into the mix. If you are using something like spinach though, I would add this at the tail end because it does tend to go brown if you cook it for too long. But you just want to stir that through just to wilt it down. Gonna pop the lid on to let that help. And then to finish your soup right before serving, you want to add in something bright. This is my big tip anytime you've cooked something for a long time. You want something acidic. You want like a little hit of vinegar or maybe a little knob of butter, something to round the flavors out. So if you've made soup at home and it's feeling a little lackluster, just a little bit of lemon zest and a little bit of lemon juice will perk everything up and make it taste bright and fresh again. I absolutely love doing this. Again, makes it bright. Remember before when I was talking about all that garlic and how it's good for if you're feeling a little under the weather? If you wanted here, you could add in a little bit of grated ginger. That would bring another level of kind of like nice sparkly citrusiness. Really, really tasty. I've also got some of that chicken here. So this is about 2 cups of that chicken that I've just shredded up. You could also cube it. I'm gonna add that right on into the pot as well, just to heat through. A little bit of that lemon juice just to bring it all together. To me, this looks more like a stew than a soup, but you know, to each their own. Some fresh parsley for some added green would be delicious. And then, just in case you like it, a little bit of red pepper flakes. Just a pinch, just in case you're not into the heat, but that, as it cooks, gets really nice and spicy and wonderful. So this soup looks like a total dream. We started with something that looks like this, kind of sad, and we end up with something that looks like this, like a total dream. All right. Now I'm gonna serve this up, but to taste this delicious soup, or the chicken, she gets to decide, is my new friend all the way from New Brunswick, Jody. Come on out, Jody. Hello, Jody.
Hi, Mary.
How are you doing?
I'm great, great, thank you.
Oh my gosh, Jody, you're from New Brunswick, you said?
Yes.
Okay, whereabouts in New Brunswick?
I live in Maces Bay.
Beautiful. What brings you to Toronto?
Our daughter lives here.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very
So we
exciting.
brought my mom and my dad up to visit her, see where she lives.
Whole family trip.
Whole family trip.
Oh my gosh, that's so nice.
Yeah.
Well, do you want to give one of them or both of them a taste?
I do,
Okay.
yes. I said I wasn't going to do soup because I didn't want to get it on my shirt,
Valid.
but it looks delicious, so
Okay.
I'm going to go for it.
You're gonna give it a go? Okay,
Yes.
right on.
I'm going
Okay.
to pick up the bowl.
Yes, please do.
Okay.
This is a pro soup eater right here. You pick up the bowl and you're good to go.
Got to get some chicken.
Some chicken in there, a little bit of that green. That was an excellent soup bite, Jody. You like it? Oh my gosh, that was amazing. Jody, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you.
It's meeting you. Oh my gosh, what is it like? Hey, Mary here. What did you think? Drop your comments below and don't forget to like and subscribe for more of the good stuff.